Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl 303 Stars Place. Thank you so much for tuning in and helping a small channel grow. Today we're just reacting to the mass layoffs that are affecting so many people all over the place still. It's pretty crazy and quite scary actually. But let's get right to it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please, please, please. Thank you so much, and let's get right to it.
Guess who's unemployed? Guess what happened? I got laid off about an hour ago. What do we do when we get laid off, guys? Because I've never not had a job. I don't know. I don't know. Do know is that I have a now 5-month-old. I've never not had a job. My brain is going crazy. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. What do we do? What do we do? Do we take a breather? Do we take a break? Do we enjoy not working for like a month and then try to start finding another job? Or do we try to find another job now because the job market sucks? One day at a time.
But you are overestimating how safe your job is. If the last few years should have taught us anything, it's this. There is no such thing as a stable job. Anytime I've done these videos in the past, people would jump in and say, that's not true. What about government jobs? Well, look where we are now. If we have learned anything over the past few years, it's this. I don't care if you've been at a company for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, even 30 years. You are still at risk of getting that email where they let you know that you are getting laid off. Companies have one goal right now, and it's simple. Get as much done as they can with the least amount of people. This means that if somebody goes to your CFO or one of the other executives and says, hey, I got a piece of technology that can literally replace people at your company for a fraction of the cost, the executive and the CFO is going to go, sign me up. That is the goal right now. Cut costs at all costs. And the biggest cost for most companies isn't technology, it's actually people. If you're watching this video right now and thinking, well, that's not me, I'm comfortable, don't get too comfortable, because trust me, you never know when you're going to get laid off in 2025.
You want to know what the biggest layoff trend is? The biggest layoff trend is there is no trend. Layoffs are not logical, they're chaotic. It doesn't matter if you're a high performer or you're doing everything right, or you've been with a company for 10 years and you've been loyal. Oftentimes, high performers get let go because they're getting paid too much. Those that do everything right, their entire divisions get let go. And sometimes you just get let go, even if you've been loyal to the company for years. Layoffs are not logical. They are not about performance. They are about cost-cutting optics and decisions from leadership that often don't make sense to you. There's no true way to layoff-proof your job. I've spoken with many individuals through my research, and one thing they always tell me is that they're always trying to do more, they're always trying to be better, and they're always worried that it's going to happen again. But rest assured, what you're doing has very little effect on if you're going to be laid off or not. Oftentimes, those decisions are out of your hands. Have you or someone you known been laid off recently? I would love to hear your story in the comments below.
Get y'all president. Get y'all president. I just got an email. We all just got an email in my office telling us and teaching us and sending us links on how to download our files, because we may not be able to access said files once we are let go. My bad. Let go is too sweet. Once we're fired, because that's what's happening. So Deandra asked, why I need to download my files? For in the event I have to apply for another job, I'll have them. For what? Who needs to see my performance eval from the federal government? Now, another government agency might need to see these files, but why would I go apply for another job in the federal government when y'all firing everybody? Why would I do that? That's dumb. Sounds dumb, don't it? I want y'all to know, everybody who voted for Agent Orange, I hope y'all all right with all of this. Because my position is not for our waste and abuse. And I understand a lot of that is going on, and a lot of that has been going on since the beginning of politics. If everybody does their research, the top been always getting the most. Always. But fraud, waste, and abuse, you are combating that with letting go our meteorologists, because they're not important, and that's fraud, waste, and abuse. By letting go our ETs, because they're not important, and that's yet another fraud, waste, and abuse. You getting rid of spots that are not fraud, waste, and abuse. But I digress. That's just the world we're living in right now, and I am pissed off. I am sad about it because it's affecting me. Like I told y'all it would.
So companies are now hiring people with the explicit intent of laying them off, and literally nothing feels safe. I just saw a video of a girl who was day 2 of a new job, and she was called into HR, who she hadn't even met yet because it was her second day on the job, and told that her role had been impacted and that she was losing her job. On the second day, they then went on to tell her that this decision was being made during the time when they were extending her an offer, but they didn't want to withdraw the offer because they felt like that would have been wrong. However, when they hired her, like during her onboarding process, they were already aware that the shifts in the company were happening and that she was going to lose her job. I would rather you rescind the offer before I officially get started. Also, I don't know about this legally. If there are any employment attorneys, I would love to hear from you, because they told her point blank on camera, we hired you knowing that we were going to lay you off immediately. So not only does the job market itself suck, even if you land a position, you have to be immediately concerned because they might have hired you just to lay you off.
I just got let go from my job as part of organizational shifts and return to office. As you guys know, I have been a remote employee for the past 5 years, really since the beginning of the pandemic. And I'm crying not because I'm sad that I got let go. Obviously, the instability of losing an income always sucks. What sucks most about being let go is somebody taking control out of your hands. I always preach internally and here at home that we have got to be the people in the driving seat of our futures, of our careers. And when a company takes that control out of your hands, it sucks, because all of a sudden the plan that you had, the roadmap that you were on board for, is gone. Now you've got to start over. And this is why you've always got to have a plan B, a plan C, and most importantly, an emergency fund. I am incredibly upset and frustrated. There have been several shifts in the company in this last couple of months that I just knew the writing was on the wall, and I knew my time was coming. But the fact that we have an emergency fund, because ultimately that is what matters at the end of the day, is that we have money to pay our mortgage, to pay for our daycare. We have that as a fallback, and I can take time, maybe a week, to just collect my thoughts and put together a strategy for job hunting. Always be prepared for the unexpected, because ultimately companies will always put themselves first. And as much as you want to believe that you're part of the family, you like the people you work with, it's a business transaction. It's a business contract, and you've got to handle it as such. But please know that you are more than your job. You are more than what you do. Have a plan, have an emergency fund. Do not spend more than you need to. Live below your means. We are in strange times. That isn't beside me losing the job, just general messaging. Protect yourselves, treat yourself as a business, and always be looking for better opportunities, because companies would do the same, and they are.
After getting laid off from big tech, here are the 3 signs that I saw that signaled a layoff. Hi, I'm Gabby. I'm a technical recruiter. I've worked with big tech for the past 10 years. I got laid off back in 2023, and here are some of the signs that I saw or should have seen that signaled a layoff. So the first thing that I saw was kind of a mass overhiring in every different team. This company was scaling, was growing. It was 2021. Everyone had money to spare. Everyone was getting hired, kind of thing. And it felt like the norm. But now I look back on it, they scale and grew so much in 2 to 3 years that it totally signaled a layoff down the line when things weren't going as well. So mass overhirings, I would definitely be wary of, and just keep your signals out. Second thing I would look for, and this kind of sounds obvious, is a slowdown in your core work. If your core work kind of ceases to exist. You get pivoted to a new project. You start doing weird projects that have no, end game. I would definitely start updating your resume. In recruiting, our headcount got slashed. We weren't hiring as many people. We started doing weird project work for process improvement. As a recruiter, if I'm not hiring people, I'm not doing my job. And it makes me start feeling a little uncomfy that my job function is not necessary for the company. So if you start feeling like that, definitely update your resume and just be aware of the situation. What I would also look out for is a ton of team restructurings. My team was probably restructured 2 or 3 times. And what this means is that the business is allocating their resources from one team that isn't as a priority to another team that's a higher priority. That's what a restructure is. So if you're part of a bunch of restructuring, sometimes that doesn't mean a layoff. Restructures do happen all the time, but it could signal a layoff. What I would also recommend is keep your ear to the ground and what's getting posted online about your company, if you're part of a big tech company. What I saw is that there was definitely nuggets posted online about my company, about a potential layoff, that I kind of was like, nah, that's never gonna happen, but it actually ended up happening. So take stuff with a grain of salt, but also be prepared if your company starts getting in the headlines of potential layoff. This is gonna happen. I would get ready no matter what. It does not hurt to get ready.
Know that in 2025, tens of thousands of people have already been laid off, and it's companies that you're familiar with. Let's get into it.
Well, second time in a year, almost a year to the day, I got laid off again, twice in a year. And what the fuck? What is anyone supposed to do? And they said, because of the economy is crap right now. So, we're gonna lay off a whole bunch of people again. And I already was struggling so hard, actually low-key, to even keep the current roof over my head. And now I have no idea how I'm even going to get through the next few hours. I just don't understand. But yeah, the economy is shit. America is shit right now. I feel like there's a really big plan for them to, tank this so that we have to rely on other things, other people. It's fucking shit. And I'm quite frankly tired of it. I'm tired of my livelihood being in other people's hands. And I have no idea how to fix that, but I'm going to, because this is just wild. And I'm fucking angry more than I am hurt or sad. I'm scared. I have no idea where any of my bills are gonna come from, the money. I'm more angry than anything because I just cannot even believe I used to be able to get a job like the week later if I got laid off. So I have no idea what's gonna happen, and I was really hoping at one point I would make money on TikTok, and I still only have 1,500 followers or whatever. So if you could just blow this up and let's get 10,000 followers plus whatever, because I might be homeless in a week or two if I can't figure it out. So yeah, I hope everyone is having a great Tuesday, a way better Tuesday than me. And if you have any tips, tricks, or whatever to help right now and get me through this, greatly appreciated. Yeah.
I lost a job yesterday, and unfortunately this is my 3rd time being laid off, so I have some pretty good experience on how to handle being laid off. Most of the time how this happens is your manager will schedule a meeting, usually for like 30 minutes, and they will join this meeting with somebody from HR. That's when you know you're about to lose your job because it's not a promotion. Most importantly, what I want you to do in this meeting is to just sit quietly, listen to everything they're saying, compose yourself. If it's your first time getting laid off, I know it's going to be really, really hard to not take it personally, but compose yourself. You are a professional. You've got this. Secondly, make sure that they send you in email or in writing the separation agreement. Do not sign it right away. Spend a few days reading it carefully. Better yet, I recommend getting an employment lawyer or a lawyer friend in general to just look and read it carefully. Most of the time, your employer, your previous employer, is not trying to do one over you, but there may be some things in there that you just will miss. Also, there are elements of your separation agreement that you can negotiate, like your severance pay, your insurance payout, accrued or unpaid PTO that you may be entitled to and just don't know it, or how it's written makes it feel like you cannot get it. Finally, and most importantly, you are going to experience real, raw, human emotions in the next coming days and weeks. I need you to get to anger quickly in the 7 stages of grief. Anger is an incredibly productive emotion. With it, we're going to go to war professionally. You're going to update your resume, update your portfolio. Do not get caught flat-footed. While you still have access to your company computer, download, take screenshots of any material that can be used to update your portfolios that showcases the great work that you have been doing. Even more important than the last thing I said, you are more than what you do. Live below your means, because changes like this can happen at any time and when you are least expecting it. Always be prepared. Have an emergency fund for 3 to 6 months, because the job market right now is really, really wonky and it could take time to find your next opportunity.
Yes! Yes! I survived! Yes! 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 Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! And round 2, we have survived. Whew. Man, you know, it would be a dumb idea if they got rid of me. I'd generate revenue for the company. Okay. Oh, another round of layoffs. Let's see what kind of press we're getting in the news. Just adjusting the team structure. You gotta could not get laid off. Yeah, we did not need that team. Maybe I should just apply to some jobs though. To make organizational changes. Haven't heard that one before. There might have been a mistake. Wait a second. My email stopped working. Can't access the drive. IT must be doing maintenance again. Who else got let go? I'm the only one left in this Slack channel? No way.
So I got laid off my job today, and it sucks. It really sucks. I've only been with the company for 2 years. Well, it'd have been 2 years in June, so you know how we like to sprinkle a little extra on it. So let's say 2 years, and it sucks. Now, they did give us a warning like 2 weeks ago, like, hey, we're downsizing. We're going to let off some people in different departments, but we won't let you know until the 14th. So today, mid-shift, they let me know, hey, I'm sorry, we're going to have to let you go. They gave me a 2-week severance pay. And it sucks. I envy those who have gifts and know their passion, know what they're put on earth to do. Just working a job and that little stability and security gets snatched away from you for no reason because they're downsizing. It sucks. It's a sucky feeling, but it is what it is. In this economy, you need 2 people working in the household. Yeah, my man can handle all the bills, but who don't want to be working making their own money? But maybe that's the problem. I don't need to be working. I need to be starting a business. My friend told me God's protection, redirection is God's protection. So there's something better out there. So God is good still, in spite of. But this feeling sucks. So we gonna feel the feeling, feel the emotions, and let it go. What's next? What's next?
What the fuck, bitch? 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 What the fuck, bitch?
I got laid off from my 6-figure job today. And I was like not gonna talk about it because it's low-key embarrassing. I was with that job for 3 years. My first job out of college. It wasn't for any performance issue or anything. I was doing a good job. They just said they weren't getting enough work at my position, so I had to cut some people. But you know what's funny about it? I'm not sad about the job. I'm sad about the paycheck. It shows me that I wasn't in the right place to begin with. I've been creating content now 2 years. I've never actually ever been consistent though, because I knew I had a fallback plan. The job was my safety net. Like, the thing about it is, when you get complacent somewhere you're not meant to be, God is just gonna shove you out. I prayed to God many times during that job to show me what it is I'm supposed to be doing with my life, because the job made me feel very purposeless because that's not what I wanted to do. I always felt like I was being pushed to lean into the platform that I was building. I was always terrified, and I was like, God, honestly, if you want me to be a full-time content creator, you're gonna have to shove me out. You're gonna have to kick me out of this job because I'm not leaving. And what did he do? He kicked me out. I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to listen to my calling. I'm just gonna document the whole journey. If you want a more in-depth story time, it's on YouTube already. Yeah, welcome to the new phase of my life, I guess.
Did you know that 7 out of 10 corporate workers are preparing for layoffs right now? Let that sink in. 70%. And honestly, they have every reason to. Let me break it down for you. We are in the middle of a layoff tsunami. Big companies like tech giants, finance firms, and even retail powerhouses are all quietly trimming their workforces. They're not just laying off thousands of employees. They're restructuring, freezing hiring, and silently planning for efficiency. Most layoffs aren't even announced until the last minute. Companies are trying to avoid public backlash, so they're doing things like rolling out quiet layoffs, cutting perks, forcing return to office mandates, or making workloads so unbearable that people quit on their own. And why is this happening? It's all about the bottom line. Companies are trying to stay profitable in uncertain markets. And guess who's caught in the middle? The employees. Start preparing now. Update your resume. Build your personal brand like I always tell you on here. Get a portfolio. And more importantly, grow your network. What do you think? Have you been impacted by any of these corporate layoffs? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your stories, and follow me for more tips to stay ahead in this unpredictable job market.
So I want to tell you that this mass firing situation is very real. Yesterday, there was a note that came home with my son saying that his teacher is no longer with the company, and we wish her well in all of her endeavors. Now, all of us that have been in corporate America knows that, I mean, it's a generic email for people that quit, but it just felt cold. And I had it in my spirit that something had happened, that she had been terminated from her position. Well, because if I want something, Reach Out and Touch is my favorite song for a reason. I looked the teacher up, reached out to her, and boom, there we have it. She was terminated. And I want to say this to everybody, mainly my black people. Know your employment law. Know your employment law. Know your rights as an employee, especially if you work in an at-will state. They don't have to have a reason to fire you, but they have to have a reason not to pay you unemployment. And I am livid because they looking for reasons to get rid of people. And the ultimate coup de grace here is not paying you your worth through unemployment that we as taxpayers pay into.
So I did get reinstated back at my job Monday, so I am back employed at the Internal Revenue Service, but I am on admin leave, I guess, until further notice, because I don't know when or if I'll even go back into the office. The email didn't say anything about back pay, but I'm guessing, you know, from other agencies and other TikToks I've seen, that I am going to get back pay. So I'm looking forward to that because I have bills to pay. And overall, I'm happy about the reinstatement email because I would much rather work a job rather than collect unemployment and, you know, state benefits, because I was laid off February the 20th and it has been hell. Like with the food stamp office, I went in and I applied twice actually, and I got denied both times. They told me that I have to have like 30 days of no pay. So I was again terminated February the 20th. So they told me I had to come back April 1st to apply for food stamps. And I feel like that was crazy. I mean, you see the termination letter, you know I don't have a job. Why do I have to come back a month and a half later to apply for food stamps? I didn't get that part, but well, hopefully in the future, like Friday, no later than Friday, I have a paycheck, because you know the bills don't stop just because you got terminated, and I need the money.
Today I walked into work and smiling and greeting as I always do, with a positive attitude. And when I walked into work today, I was told, Haley, you shouldn't be smiling today. What? We are all losing our jobs today. Today is your last day. You're being laid off. There wasn't a notice. There wasn't an email sent out. There wasn't our higher-ups telling us anything that we knew. But to come to find out that there has been some confirmation on their part that they knew, but we didn't know until we walked into work today. We just started our pay period for this week. Imagine coming into work, you just started your pay period, and you come into work today and you find out you're no longer going to have a job. But not to your fault, but to the company's fault. There has been so many people in the last week that have got an apartment, got a house, got a car because they really needed it to get to work, has a family, has bills. How are we supposed to even pay bills knowing you just laid us off starting our new pay period? But this is square one health to you. It's embarrassing coming to work and the news showing up and you're finding out that you're losing your job, but the higher-ups know, but none of the employees know. You're finding out as you come into work today. Why is that okay? Why is it okay that we don't get paid our pay time off? We worked really hard for those hours. There are people that have over 80 hours of pay time off, and they're not getting paid it because Square One Health is not going to pay it, and that's what they told us today. They are not going to pay us our pay time off. Why is there no repercussions for a company that knew that they were going to shut down but didn't tell their employees until we found out today? Why is it okay that other people already had other positions, knowing that other employees were going to come to work today and find out that they didn't have a job no longer? How is that okay? That's not okay. It's not even a little bit okay. But that's okay? No, it's not. So many people have families and lives and things like a house, and you just laid every single employee off like as a simple fuck you as they came in today. Like, hey, you don't no longer have a job, not my problem. But the ones that are okay with that already have new positions in other companies and they're not worried. But we just started our pay period and we just came in and we're laid off. They need to be held accountable. It's not okay. You had so many employees that were blindsided today. And that's literally all I have to say right now because I'm still in shock. Because I have to find out or figure out what from here. But thank you, Square One Health. Thank you. Great job. Because, you know, you had employees that actually were there because they cared. I was there. I came into work every single day for those clients. I was the voice for those clients because I cared. I cared for them. But you didn't even care about us and you didn't even care about them today.
we hoped we wouldn't be in this position again. Yet we are, and we deeply regret the impact this decision may have on you. For that, I am truly very sorry. This decision is not a reflection on you as individuals. I also want to say you've been tremendous team members, colleagues, and friends to me and so many others. We are here to support you both personally and professionally as you navigate next steps. We will begin deactivating all systems access at this time. At this time, I will end the call.
And that's it. And they turned everything off.